got to know that from you only now that when you approached teachers for your organization means Economics Club of Mumbai, these organizations will take them to such study tours, and their response was that no, it must be government funded or the organization must be funded. And when you went to students and to their parents, so where it was difficult to convince more.
See, here it's not easy because we live in the suburbs where it's all most of our children come from middle class families. Parents are not, in most cases, 90% of middle class families struggling to pay their housing loans or car loans or paying for the education of the kids. So it was difficult to convince the parents, but it's not as difficult to convince the teacher. Teachers have money, but they don't want to explore. And students, in the case of young students, they have no funds, they want to really explore the world, they want to find new opportunities. So that's the difference between the two generations. Elders don't want to change, and the young people are ready to change. You help them create opportunity. So that's how now my third study trip to Europe is almost booked now. We have already 42 students are booked. I'm taking 48 students to top universities in Belgium and Germany.
Along with that, you have taken in past many students in such universities, public funded universities. So what were your best moments with the students, or any inspiring moment with the students, or any student which experienced those moments?
Yeah. See, I will tell you one example. See, last year, taking students, 40, 50 students to a university, arranging their lectures, taking their campus tour, meeting Indian students studying there, these are all very, very tough job. It requires about almost 6 months of writing to the university. And in some cases, my friends in those universities help me. It's not easy. When we write from India, going to a university, and just free. They have to arrange free lectures. They are not paying them, and they are not gaining anything. No financial. So naturally, it's very reluctant. People don't want to spend time on such a social activity. So it is a very difficult job to convince the universities. And some places, Indians are really helped. I'll tell you one example. We were looking for a visit to University of Paris, and the University of Paris is the oldest. One of the oldest university. University of Paris started before Oxford. The first university in modern world is called in Bologna in Italy, where we visited last year. And University of Paris split, and then Oxford University was set up around 1100 years ago. We wanted to visit the University of Paris, and they were very bureaucratic. They said, you write your international office, and when we wrote several letters and we didn't get a reply, and finally there's a reply said, you are late, now this year's visits are closed. So but we wanted to we have already booked our tickets to Paris, we wanted to see the oldest university in the world. So myself and my daughter, what we did was that we started writing the faculty. We took their address from LinkedIn and Twitter, and we started writing to the faculty. And few of them responded, few didn't. And then we thought, let us also write to students, Indian students studying in this university. And we started writing to Indian students in the University of Paris, and suddenly they started responding, especially a few students. One student is called Sharan Banerjee. Right now, he's in the United States doing his PhD. Wonderful guy. He immediately connected me, said, there is a Mumbai office, go and meet them, and I will talk to the faculty. And within 3-4 days, the Sharan Banerjee arranged such a visit for us at the University of Paris. We had lecture, we had campus visit, and see this guy now is helping many of our students with writing SOP, guiding them to study abroad. This one girl who recently went to Nottingham to study her psychology, the Sharan Banerjee helped her with her SOP, statement of purpose, everything. So there are a lot of people out there to help you. You have to reach out. When you write to 10 people, maybe some of them will really come out and help you. And you have to make effort. So networking is very important. So I always tell students, try and meet more people. Write to them. You don't know who is there waiting to help someone. There are a lot of people out there just waiting to help someone. and you have to make your networking and find out. That's so we had a great experience during our trips, people coming out and helping us.
So when you go for this trip, so the students are also obviously there. What you came to know about the students means about their expressions or emotions in a foreign country in such a front of big universities, and when they came back in India. So what were the differences in their approach of after the tour?
I know
And any optimistic approach?
Many of this, most of the, in fact, 99% of the students who travel with us are from the middle class families of Sabah, from Murid, Thane, from Kalyan, Badlapur, and so on. And even the parents, in most cases, even their parents have not traveled anywhere other than in Mumbai or nearby places. So even for them, in fact, we had to make their passports and everything they did for the first time. So it was really exciting for them. Exciting and really changed their attitude to education and life. Because they have seen, they talk to Indian students, the guys are very smart from, many of them see from Maharashtra, so they could interact them in Marathi, speak to them in Marathi. Some guy from Pune, very smart, he was very confident in getting about his placement. All that really, impresses students. You find somebody from speaking your language in a foreign country and a very smart guy, very confident of getting a good placement, can really change the attitude of a child who's traveling from here. And so most of them have become more, focused in their studies, and they want to read. Now they have understood what is lacking in our education here. Our students don't read. We only read what is for the examinations. And after going there, many of them have started reading a lot and started preparing. Some of them have even selected the university where they want to go and study. So they are more focused now, more dedicated. This is what has happened.
So with that, you have met many Indian students studying there in such prestigious and public funded universities. So have you ever asked them this question that, okay, you are from India or any of the city from India, when you are studying in class or teachers are giving you lectures in a foreign country or in a European country especially, how do these Europeans look toward the Indian students? Do they look at them as only these people are coming here because there are no good education facilities? So how do Europeans look towards us?
It's very different. In most of the foreign countries, I'm talking of the good universities, all of them would like to have international education. There is a move for internationalization of education. Why internationalization of education is that in an educational environment, a child will learn better if you have students from very different multicultural background. Now, for example, if you have studied in a college where you have only students from, say, for example, Thane, you have very little to learn. When you will learn more, say, for example, a child going to St. Xavier's College or the KC College or college in the city in Mumbai will learn much more than somebody studying in the suburb, because you have students from various socio-economic background coming to study. And most of the universities abroad now have a policy. 50% local students, 50% students should be from outside. Even Harvard has a policy of admitting more than 50% students from abroad and less Americans. The reason is when more students come from abroad, there's more competition, their students have more to learn. So they always look at Indian students to learn something new. Because Indian students going abroad are heavy investment for their family. So most of them, when they go abroad, they really work hard. So these foreign students look at their Indian students as someone who is inspiring for them. Who really inspire them, because Indian students, even professors say, our Indian students bring good results in the campus. So they are always looking at Indian students as in most cases, as role models in their classroom, because they're very hardworking, dedicated, and there is a lot of family pressure on a child traveling abroad. For example, when you travel abroad, your mother will call you 10 times a day. What you are doing, with whom are you talking? Don't talk to, if you are a boy, your mother will tell you, don't talk to a white girl. You have to come back, I will find a girl for you. Or if a girl is going abroad, always warning you should not talk to anybody else. There is a lot of family. I'm not saying whether it's good or bad. The thing is that the family pressure will help you to focus on your studies. And Indian students really study hard and get very good grades. And that's what is appreciated by the faculty, by your friends in universities.
It is obvious that India has also its own literature and culture of economics, and especially there is a book very much famous in economics called as Arthashastra. If I am not wrong, written by Chanakya.
Yes.
So in this, you go to universities or whatever is taught in our own colleges, university. Do they forget these types of books to teach the student?
See, many times in India we have forgotten the books and the literature and the knowledge we have. We have forgotten. And sometimes we were in a hurry to imitate all what that was coming from Western world. But in Western countries, see for example at Columbia University, Columbia and Princeton in America has got one of the largest Sanskrit research centers. And there are many Sanskrit scholars who speak only Sanskrit in the university there. And they are learning all ancient scriptures and books from India. They are learning there. And Germany is also on a big scale, big scale in teaching Sanskrit to schools there. So what they are doing, they are trying to take the best. And we sometimes have forgotten our traditions. For example, yoga and meditation is compulsory in all schools in Germany or in US. They know the benefit of how the child practicing yoga or meditation, how it will help in concentration or studies and so on. So sometimes, many a times, we have forgotten our own literature. We have forgotten, so we just try to imitate them. But knowledge is knowledge. Whether it's coming from India or from anywhere, we should take the best of it.
So for an Indian student, in India especially, for him Oxford and Cambridge are IIT and IIMs. These are public funded universities which are for them this type universities like Oxford and Cambridge. So do you see that whatever best changes are there in these IITs and IIMs? Yes, they are obvious that they are public funded universities. So there are, along with that, there are many private colleges. So what are you trying to see or figured out that some changes or best changes can be brought in private colleges like IITs, IIMs? What are they? What you believe?
See, okay, we have set up after independence. We have set up many good institutions like the IIT, the IIMs, or the Tata Institute, or all this. We have Indian Institute of Science and so on. But considering the large number of young people, we need more good institutions. Now institutions are facing faculty shortage. They are not getting good teachers. And at the same, there is a new trend now in India. Some few, companies, corporates are investing money like Azim Premji. Azim Premji Foundation has started Azim Premji University, which is of very high quality. And there is Ashoka University near Delhi, which is a very high quality, very good university. In fact, many students say it's number one in India. Ashoka is number one. There is a couple of them in Delhi, private universities. So there are some in the south, private universities with very good teaching, very good curriculum, not just money making. A lot of private universities are only for making money, but some of these are really good. Someone like Ashoka University, they're very good. They can compete with the Tata Institute of Science and so on, social science and so on. So we need more such institutes. The thing is that these private universities are expensive. Like in Ashoka University, a child will have to spend 6 to 8 lakhs for a year. And for undergraduate studies, 6 to 8 lakhs is very difficult for Indian parents. So we need to find somewhere in between. Maybe government also should assist more good private universities so that more children can get opportunities in India also. Because we should also create good institutions in India. Always we can't be going abroad for studies.
My question is again in education only. There are students here who are going to IITs, IIM, and you have talked about that. But moving ahead a little bit, they have always a fascination for foreign countries, foreign universities, and our own universities are a little bit going down. And especially in that, many students, whenever they go in college, okay, they take admission for a graduation, or most of the students college, you know that after they clear 10th examinations, they go in a college. Every student always has this fear that his credibility will be known and will be judged from the examinations which he gives. So due to such type of a system, they only study that much things only which are only used for exam, and after that they believe that they will get a credibility after passing the exam.
Yeah.
So, what do you believe that are there any मतलब कहाँ से कुछ ठीक करना चाहिए क्या यहाँ पे?
ऐसा देखिए अभी हमारे इधर ऐसा एग्जामिनेशन ज़्यादा एग्जामिनेशन ओरिएंटेड है स्कोर. There is no other way of judging the student. Recently, some colleges which have become autonomous, for example, started giving some importance to working for an NGO. Students should work for an NGO. There is a small change coming in. It should become a normal practice. So apart from academic activities, students should also get involved in non-academic activities. For example, working for an NGO where they get real life skills. They work for NGO, if they teach in, let's say, organization like if they teach in India or teach in India or any such organization, they will come to know the real life difficulties, and that is what is required. So academic score alone should not be. We need a better, so we should find some way where children can get practical knowledge too. Maybe working with an NGO should be made part of the curriculum. Every child must work with an NGO, do social work to get the degree.
In this only, I have a question. Recently, a Microsoft company, it is a very big company in Japan. So it declared that 4 days you will work and 3 days you will have a holiday. So what type of such changes can we bring? In education, I know it is very, very little bit, irrelevant. I'm not talking about teachers here, but in examination pattern or something like that, a very much unique idea. Because Japan saw that, Microsoft company saw that their employees got more productive. They started working 95% more. So how can we break that in examination pattern? Exam oriented.
Not only in education, in every field in India, you find people seem to be doing something. You find children going to school. Once they go to school, we think they are studying. That's what I said. They seem to be studying. People seem to be working. Look at a person working in India in an office. Once you reach the office, you have a cigarette break, or you have a tea break, you have a lunch break, then you have again small talk break, you go chit chat. You may be, from the time you sign in, you may be spending 8 to 9 hours, but you see the actual amount of work done by a person, maybe 2 hours. So therefore, in many Western countries, they have a system. Once you go into the office, you keep your mobile phone, everything in your locker, you just work and finish your work by 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, go out, enjoy life, and then your employer can't even contact even you by email. They have a different system. And in our case, we go spend our time in the office, and for the whole day we sit there till 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. The amount of work done at times is very less. So that's why we talk about the productivity. 4 days productivity was much more than the 5 days productivity in Japan. We don't have that work culture in India. Whether it is in education or employment, government office, we don't have that work culture. So till we change our work culture, we can't think of a 4-day work and so on.
When it comes to work culture, you are also a professor, and you have many teachers and sirs, in colleges, and your organization also have trained them. So what are the work challenges or work culture challenges existing in India's teaching education system, especially for teachers and professors? I am asking. So what changes can be brought in work culture?
See, yeah. First of all, In India, a teacher's life, most of our time we are classroom teaching. You are teaching, and very little importance is given for research or for reading or for other activities. So teachers have so much of teaching work. So they just actually go deliver some lectures or give them something to write, and the students learn that and write in their examinations, produce in the examinations. There is no out-of-box thinking. Teachers don't think, they don't read enough. When they don't teach and read enough, students are not thinking and not reading. It's so rigid, the system in the colleges are all so rigid. You want the teacher to go to the class, teach this, give notes, students will learn by heart right in the examination. Beyond that, we have to create a system where both teachers and students think out of the box and read and think much more than what is in our curriculum. We have very, very outdated books. Perhaps first thing to do is change our books. And we have met a lot of local authors, right, spoil the students, right, very substandard books, and teachers and students, they find it very convenient to follow those books. And I'm not naming the authors or publishers in Mumbai. We have several publishers in Mumbai who really destroyed our education in Mumbai.